Good evening, Dino Warriors, and welcome to Raptor Universe Uncut. I am, of course, the esteemed Professor Arthur Poor, joined by a newcomer, the little-known cousin of Dr. Wu. Yes, indeed, this is Dr. No. Welcome, Dr. No, to the show.
Thank you, Andy. Yes, indeed, I am the long-lost cousin of Dr. Wu. Dr. No, not from the James Bond. Dr. No, different franchise.
Different franchise.
Well, yeah.
Dino Warriors, we are here tonight to discuss something very cool. And that is the brand new mobile game, Jurassic World Alive. Now, some of you may have seen the commercial for this brand new game. It's been out for about a month or so. And the premise is very simple. If you played Pokemon Go, it's the same concept here, folks. It's you have to go out into the world, find dinosaurs, catch them, and collect them for your team that you'll eventually do battle in. Now, what I found, Dr. No, is that this game is a little bit better than Pokemon Go. Did you play Pokemon Go by any chance?
I did at the beginning when the phenomena, you can say, when it happened. People go drive around, go into parks, amusement parks, finding those Pokemon, rare Pokemons. But, sooner or later, it gets very tiring. And then all of a sudden, when they start coming up with those updates where it's like, you got to pay, to get extra stuff, like if you want to win the battle. And you can sell it. And also, the whole thing with the gym battles, which is so weird. It wasn't even actual battling. It's like you're just tapping the button to see who goes.
Exactly. And there was I felt that there was no strategy involved in Pokemon Go. It got old real quick for me, and I stopped playing. Exactly. I played the whole first summer, and then I stopped playing. Now, Jurassic World Alive, I think, has three key components to it that I find really interesting, and those are the three things we're going to touch upon here lightly today. Now, as we get deeper and deeper into it, both you and I have been playing for a few weeks here. So we're pretty skilled and kind of know what's going on. There's still a lot of things out there that it looks like they're going to add in the near future. But we're going to focus on these three things. We're going to focus on catching the dinosaurs. We're going to focus on the AR component, which I think is kind of cool, a little bit different. It's kind of similar to Pokemon Go, but kind of cool too. And then also, I think is the highlight of this game is the battle component. So let's talk about catching the dinosaurs. Now, if you remember in Pokemon Go, you just throw balls at things and they either catch or they don't catch. Not a whole lot of skill. This, you have a drone that is flying above the dinosaurs, and you'll see a little video here, and you have to shoot darts at this target on the dinosaur. And there's two components here. One, the dinosaur is moving, and two, your drone is hovering, so you kind of have to adjust for the height of the drone and where the dinosaur is going to be. Now, Dr. No, what have you found to be some good tricks and tips for getting the highest DNA scores? Because every time you land a hit on that target, you get X amount of DNA.
Exactly. So the greatest advice, as far as getting the highest, well, depending on your levels. So there is a max hit if you hit the direct target, and whatever level it is, you can be 13 plus 14, it just depends. But the main thing you want to do is you want to get as much close as you can get to the dinosaur when they spawn in the area, where it's in the driveway or your home or at a Publix or Walmart or maybe, because the closer you get, there's that thing, the battery, where it's basically, it's like a time limit. And obviously, if the much far away you are, then you're not going to have much time to throw darts at those dinosaurs to collect those DNAs. But if you're closer, it's going to give you a lot more time to start just, attacking those darts at those dinosaurs. And
I found that the magic number is you want to be within like 40 feet of the dinosaur to get the maximum amount of battery time. So, and then, there's different levels. You have to be, a certain amount of feet away from the dinosaur to be able to catch it. Now, that can change based on if you join the VIP level, that you get extended drone length and extended areas. And that is $10 a month. I know you've done that already. I have not gone into
that. I admit I myself never like pay to pay to play, but you know what? This is probably the one game that's really worth getting, because not only if you sign up, like I said, it's only $10 a month.
Yeah.
But it's not a contract. I mean, basically, after a month, you can go and cancel if you like. But the great thing is you actually get more incentives, like you're saying, like basically get the extended battery life. You have the distance of when you see a new dinosaur, so you can actually even capture it in a longer distance. I think it's like an extra 20 feet, from my understanding. And plus, if you do decide to join the VIP, you do get an epic incubators, which we can go in detail about that as well. That's very important, especially if you want to get those rare epic.
Absolutely. So the next piece, I think, with this, so catching the dinosaurs, you get the DNA, and then every dinosaur has a different number where you can create the dinosaur, and then to level up the dinosaur, you need more DNA, and then you need coins as well to level them up. So every dinosaur is a different number, and that's sort of where the strategy is to level up in the game, to move from level 1 to level 2. The only thing they count for those things is how you level up your dinosaurs and how you evolve your dinosaurs. So when you level them up to the next level, you get points for that, and then you level up as well. So that's basically the whole collection component. There's also the mixing of dinosaurs component too, where just like in Jurassic World, we now have hybrid dinosaurs. So something like the Indominus Rex, you need to get X amount, you need to get your T-Rex up to, well, in this case, level 15. You need to get your Raptor up to level 15. And then now you can use that DNA once you're both at those two things have the level 15 status. Now you can use that DNA to make an Indominus Rex. And that's a whole nother process of creating hybrids. And there's so many different combinations in this game. I think there's something like, oh man, I don't even remember now. How many dinosaurs are in the game right now? I think it's like, let me go look. I have it right here. There are currently 100 dinosaurs in the game. And I'd say a good, 40% of that is hybrids that you can create from other dinosaurs. So there's some strategy involved, because the hybrids seem to be the more prized possessions when it comes to the battlegrounds. Obviously, people are going to want to collect the Stegosaurus, the Triceratops, all the basic dinosaurs. But it seems like the hybrids are the best dinosaurs to have for battles. And Dr. No, what dinosaurs have you found? Because you've done a lot of research on this as the different levels. What dinosaurs have you heard are the best to have for battles?
So, especially from battlegrounds, especially if you're a new player, the first dinosaur. So basically, when you start the game, you get to choose 3 different type of dinosaurs. You get the Velociraptor, and I'm not sure that the other one's a Stegosaurus, I believe, or a Triceratops. And then I'm not sure about the third one. Yeah, I don't know if you know what the third one was, but either way,
it's so quick.
Yeah. Well, either way, you're gonna be collecting a lot more dinosaurs, and it's just gonna be so many to choose from. But the main thing, especially for the battleground, or you got the battle arena, whichever you want to call it, speed. You know what they say: speed kills. You want to get speed, and also you want to get tanks. So you want to get those. Was it Apatosaurus, Bronchiosaurus? Because especially with the speed, like the Velociraptors, they can one shot you real quick. And unless you get a speed tank, something like the Ankylosaurus, or there's one of those large or armored dinosaurs, they could withstand those damages and then basically have a long drop battle. So that's something that I've learned. And also, if you want to learn more, they actually have like a forum site, Ludia's forum site that you can go into, and there's like a lot of information that you can actually learn, and you can even cheat your way to those battles.
Well, and this, we're just doing a quick overview here of the game itself, but we'll get more in depth into future episodes, actually going into some strategy-based stuff. But what I found is I like to start off my battles with Velociraptor and try and one-shot people. That sometimes turns on you quickly if you match up against a tank. Or there's other dinosaurs like the Stegoceratops, which is a hybrid that can actually stun you as well. That's also so each dinosaur has about the regular dinosaurs have probably 2 powers. The rare dinosaurs move into about 3 powers, and then your hybrids start to have 4 different powers. And they all have different, there's increase in speed, there's increase in attack, there's increase in defense. So all your dinosaurs have stats to them, And when they match up against each other, it's a best of 3 series. So what I like is you get to set a team of your 8 dinosaurs out of your whole collection. So you set your 8 that you want to join the battle. Then the system randomly selects 4 of those for you when you enter into the battle, which I think is good, because if you could always choose your dinosaurs, you would always be playing the same way. By having the system choosing 4 for you, it makes you think a little bit. It makes you it makes you know your dinosaurs and what their powers are and how best to use them given the situations that you're presented with, because the other team has 4 dinosaurs and it's the first guy who can get 3 kills. And you can switch out your dinosaurs and it's turn-based. So it's not like Pokemon Go where you just tap buttons and you shoot each other. It's turn-based. So it's strategy, and you have to think about it. Now, Dr. No, what types of strategies have you come up with so far?
So the strategy, as far as like what I've learned from battling, because I'm basically the 2nd tier from the last arena battle, which I believe it's lockdown, and then you have the Battleland, like I said, because it's random, because you set up your eight dinosaurs on your roster, and then basically they choose 4 random dinosaurs to go into battle, and then because now here's the thing, so you get to choose your first dinosaur. It's not something where like it just randomly pick the first dinosaur, and then this is where fun's because depending on the level and also the speed and the stats, that all basically dictates who goes first. And that's actually, you can say something where like, whoever goes first, that could be the winning draw or something like that.
The Velociraptor is like the quickest dinosaur, but there's other dinosaurs in the game. Like I have, there's other dinosaurs that can tank well. So if I have, a Stegosaurus or an Apatosaurus, it's going to take that Raptor a few hits to hit me, and I might be able to overpower him in the long run. Yeah. Or there's other dinosaurs that have different powers. Like I have an Alekasaurus that can actually, or it's not Alekasaurus, it's something else. But my system's frozen up, of course. and what I also find interesting is I considered myself to be a dinosaur expert before this game, and I'll tell you what, they found some dinosaurs that I've never heard of before. Like I said it to my wife the other day. I said, there's a Majungasaurus in the game. And she's like, that's made up. And I said, no, look, I have a bunch of dinosaur books. And I said, no, it's in here. It's not one of the big dinosaurs, but it's definitely a dinosaur. So they found, you can tell that this is the first wave of dinosaurs, that not everything's been released. Some of the cooler ones I found were the Dracorex, which I saw, if you watched our Raptor Universe video on the Indianapolis Children's Museum, there's a Dracorex skeleton there that is in that video. He's in this game, which I thought was a really cool addition that they decided to put a Dracorex in here.
Nice.
But you have the T-Rexes, you have your Velociraptors, but you have all these lesser known dinosaurs as well. And those powers can sometimes help you out in these battles where I've been in some pitch battles here. You can switch out, but when you switch out, the other team still gets to hit you for that turn. But then they get a second turn if they're faster. So there's a lot of strategy involved. The biggest thing I found is one, like you said, speed is very important. If you can get the faster dinosaur to be, and each one has a different speed rating. So, one turn, your Stegosaurus may be slower than your Velociraptor, but then the Stegosaurus up against the Apatosaurus, well, the Stegosaurus is all of a sudden faster. So you really have to know the changing scenario and what's happening in the battlegrounds. And I'll tell you what, it's tough to do. Early on, it's getting a feel for it, but once you start figuring out and knowing that the faster dinosaur is usually the way to go because you get that first strike, that's the huge thing, is getting that first strike, especially when you're trying to get to 3 kills first. And then I think it's just keeping your calm, that you're going to lose some of these games. And that's just the name of the game, is you're going to lose, especially as you start progressing up. I'm at that point now where, I'm a 50-50 battler. My team isn't as strong as some of the other hybrid teams out there. The hybrids seem to be the strongest in the battle zones. But it's a 50-50 shot where I'm 4 wins away right now into moving up to the next tier. So I'm kind of excited about that. So I'm moving up to the second to last tier. And really, I think I'm at like 2,400 points. That you get points, and then every 500 is a different battle zone. And then the top players right now are about 3,300. I think is the very top. So you know, once you start getting up there, you need to get a lot better. You need to level up your dinosaurs so that they're better and they have better stats. So it's really I would suggest maybe picking 12 dinosaurs that you know are good and really focusing on them, and then just using the rest of your DNA stuff to level people up. You know, so that you can get higher levels up to, you know, level 1, level 2, level 3. You know, so because there's a lot of junk dinosaurs too that aren't good in the battlegrounds, and I would not focus on, you know, leveling up things like.
Well, that's what you know. It's like once you move up in the ranks, you'll notice that you're gonna be facing a lot of hybrids. So you're gonna be seeing a lot of like basically mixed hybrids where, you know, not only do they have the speed, but they also can tank as well, or someone that's just very overpowered that can just one shot. And it's not even a Velociraptor. So that's why I'm saying it's the strategy. That's what I love about this game compared to Pokemon Go, where it actually makes like I said, makes you think, and then you have to strategize. It's like you're playing chess. You know, that's like what it is basically. And then the great thing is like you actually want to look at your attack info, so you know what kind of attack that you're going to use, either pre in advance, so you know that hey, if I'm going against a speed person, then I'm going to have to go get a tanker or someone that has like a fully armor stat. And then basically so I can withstand those one-hit shots like the Raptors or even the T-Rex. So it's amazing how like it's in-depth it is for a small app game, you know, that's basically what people say. It's the same as Pokemon Go, but it's just like it's 100 times in-depth and better, and it's just more strategic way to play.
And the other cool thing about the battles, and this is why I hate about Pokemon Go, is to do the battles in Pokemon Go, is you have to go to a location to take over a gym.
Oh my god!
These battles you can do anywhere. So you can be sitting on your couch at the airport. You can be standing in the queue line for the best roller coaster ever, Raptor at Cedar Point. You can be any of those places and be playing or you can be playing Jurassic World Alive and doing the battles. And what you get is, to win a battle, you get an incubator that'll give you more DNA, more coins, more darts, and that's what makes this game so cool. Is I think leveling up those dinosaurs, getting the best team.
Exactly, because well, like you're saying, like the more battles you do, the more incentives. Like they're gonna give you some incubators where it's gonna give you those DNA where you can get those hybrids or those new dinosaur that you know you've always wanted or just jealous of when you see those top 20 players where you're like, how in the heck do they have a level 20 Indominus Rex?
Yeah.
It's like, and they're a level 2. I mean, what's going on here?
Money is the answer. Usually.
Mm.
So the last thing we're going to talk about is the AR, which is a very small part of this, but I thought the AR was so cool on this game. And we're going to be playing some videos here that you can actually film the stuff in the game. And I had the pleasure of going to California over the past week, and I got some great shots of these dinosaurs in the Muir Woods. The huge redwood trees, very reminiscent of the Lost World scenery. Also Endor, where they actually filmed the Endor scenes from Star Wars. So I put some dinosaurs around, and I'll tell you what, these dinosaurs look really good. Like they have found, like you can change their space, and when you go to actually spawn them in these locations, like it does a really good job of figuring out what's in front, what's in back, where the ground is, where the shadows are. Like they actually look really, really good, and I really like the AR concept just for visuals, because who doesn't like to, like the whole purpose of this game is, hey, this is dinosaurs in the real world, in your world, just like Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom here. That this is the whole concept, and when you just play on the map and catch dinosaurs, you don't get that so much because the AR concept isn't there. But when you start doing the AR through the character screens, then you start getting these awesome images here, which I think are great. I love putting Velociraptors into places, putting Raptor in front of Raptor. Like, what more do you want this?
Well, I mean, just like we were stating, the one thing that you notice, the graphics, especially when you do the ARs, how amazing are those dinosaurs, and like realistic, even to counterparts to the franchise movie, where like some of those dinosaurs are similar. Where you can
I'll tell you what, some of these dinosaurs in these locations look better than the dinosaurs.
Oh yeah.
Than the dinosaurs they had in Jurassic World or Jurassic Park 3. That CGI was terrible in that movie. Like that CGI was awful. When the one part that gets me is when they're on the river and they're going past all the brachiosaurs and the patasaurs. Like it just looks so fake. And here we have a mobile game that's essentially like doing it better. It looks more real. Like it's crazy.
It's more in depth. It's more in detail. I mean, just the color scheme is it's amazing. You know, even when you play the game like battling or catching, it's like wow. You know, compared to like when you play Pokemon Go, it's like okay, just cartoony.
Yeah,
you know, doesn't yeah.
Just so, there,
but I mean, here it's like you know, because visually it stands out. I'll say that. So
for future episodes, I think we're gonna start coming up with some dream teams and what teams work best. Also, some more tips and strategies. This was basically a beginner's introduction and some basic tips to how to play this game. But we're going to get into some more in-depth stuff here because this is a game that I think I'm going to be playing for at least another few months, at least the rest of the summer. I don't know how because the problem with Pokemon Go was that they waited too long to introduce new stuff. But they've already, in the first few weeks here, introduced a bunch of new dinosaurs. They introduced the Carnotaurs. They introduced, a whole slew of new dinosaurs. About 5 to 10 of them, and that's what keeps these games alive. Is you have to keep people wanting to go into the game and play. And I feel that the dinosaurs are the way to go here. So,
well, I'll tell you what, Andy. The way to make the game long stand with longevity is talking about the game, speaking about the game, and you know who listens to it? The creators, Ludia, and they've been listening. And that's why you keep seeing updates, you keep seeing ideas putting out. And that's how the game's going to get better and better. It's not going to 6 months from now, you'll just never play it again and you just go on to the next one or anything like that.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. So hopefully we'll see this game have some legs to it. I love dinosaurs.
Oh yeah.
I love this concept. And the battling things, I can't wait to see because they're going to be adding more and more battle zones because the top level players are already leveling up. To the point where it's getting pretty tough, competition at the top there. So I'm very excited to see where this game goes. And we will, of course, have more Raptor Universe Uncut for you in the coming weeks and months. I'm, of course, the Professor, Arthur Poor.
And I am Dr. No! But, because without me, there is no Jurassic or World. Either one.
I'll see you out there in the fields, my friends, my Dino Warriors.
Yeah. Start catching those dinos.